Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build and our final build in our Magnolia Promenade renovation. It happens to be a cafe and free library, or if you're playing with the Businesses and Hobbies expansion pack, it doesn't have to be a free library. It can just be a regular library that your Sims are paying to attend either hourly or one-time fee. But I was very excited. I did not know before I started this renovation of Magnolia Promenade that we were even getting the Businesses and Hobbies expansion pack. So I was pleasantly surprised when we found out that we were in fact getting this pack, and that is why this build and also my previous build of the thrift store and bubble tea shop have an apartment just above them, so that if you wanted to convert this, you could totally do so. And if not, you could just let that be a place that your Sims go to hang out and just use it as a normal business lot like it's intended for. But here we have the furniture I had already picked out going in. It does change a little bit, so don't be surprised by that. But I was trying to figure out which side of this building would be the library and which side would be the cafe. And obviously I put the furniture down, then quickly swapped it around. So you'll also see a lot of cozy bistro kit being used in this build. I use that for like the doors and some of the signage and some of the decorations, because honestly it just fits so nicely. You'll also see this upstairs is a very odd shape. It's kind of like spacey looking. It was intentional and also unintentional. I just knew I wanted turrets up at the top, and I kind of just connected all of the turrets with regular walls. And my intention at first was not even to make the upstairs usable, just to make it look pretty, but I quickly decided that I did in fact want an apartment up here. So I did have to make some last minute changes, but I think the turrets came out really, really nice. And then I just played around with all the roof shapes until I could cover as much ground with these roofs as possible. And it took a very long time, but I did eventually figure it out. Also, I'm going to try to get through this by talking about as much of what I'm building as I possibly can. But I'm also super excited about the pack because it just came out today. The day I'm doing this voiceover is, in fact, March 6th, Thursday, March 6th. So we just got the expansion pack today. I only had time to play with it for about an hour while my kids were occupied and didn't mind that mommy was in the kitchen playing while she did other household chores. But they quickly, grew tired of me being occupied by the computer. So I had to stop and get back to other household duties. Didn't get a whole lot of time to play, but I did use my time to properly make this particular build into a residential small business lot. So if you wanted to see a walkthrough of any kind, I know that you've already seen probably a lot of early access and then a lot of super early access from even before that. But if you wanted to see how it works getting a home off the gallery or a business off the gallery and converting it to be your own business, like picking a sim, moving them in, and either playing with that sim or just having that sim be the owner so that your other sims could come visit, let me know, because I'm open to doing a little walkthrough of how that works. It took me a little bit of time to figure it out, and I'm glad that I did, because now I can either play with the sim who owns this cafe and library, or I can play with other sims and they can come visit and they will see the owner, but they won't be able to go upstairs to her residential lot, which I think is really fun. You'll see the shape of this cafe and library / home is very like whimsical storybook and pink and white and stone. I really wanted it to look kind of regal, like a castle, and kind of match that, like I said, the storybook vibe, because it is a library. I thought that the storybook vibe would lend itself well. All of the windows are from Cottage Living, and I think that they look so nice here. And then the spandrels, I believe, are from Strangerville in this white and pink swatch, and the fencing is also from Strangerville in the pink swatch. And the foundation is from Life and Death. I think that that works really well in a lot of different builds. I've used it before quite a few times, but I think it came out super nice. Now we're going to be getting into the cafe. I'm just going to be playing around with a bunch of stuff for a while, so you'll see me go back and forth. This took me 2 or 3 build sessions to complete. So you'll see I'm changing the tables now. I'm using these ones, which I believe are base game, but they had a swatch refresh recently. And then the chairs are from Cozy Bistro. I thought that these tinier tables worked well than the Cozy Kitsch tables. Plus, I didn't have the proper wood tone on the Cozy Kitsch tables that I wanted. So these worked better. And now I'm trying to figure out where the staircase is going to go to get upstairs. And then I quickly decide I'm going to actually enclose this staircase, but you'll see it soon enough because I didn't want it to be visible to the entire cafe where the staircase was. I kind of wanted it like a little hidden walkway up to the steps to the apartment up above. So you'll see that change in a little bit. But first, I'm working more on the exterior. We're adding some of these pretty columns from Get Together on every corner of the turrets, just because I thought it made it like really framed in nicely, and it kind of separated the stone from where the pink walls began. And now we are going to be over here doing some more work with the floor plan and figuring out what the library was going to look like. I use these bookshelves, obviously, from Book Nook kit, and then this lovely peachy wall tone with the wood paneling. At first I pulled out this desk because I think it's really pretty, but I do change it up in a little bit. There's also a cart with some books on it. Over here we have a cozy little reading nook with the couch and the easy chairs from the Book Nook kit. And then I do change that lamp later as well, but that one is from Modern Luxe, and I thought it looked really nice on that table for the time being. Same rug from Book Nook kit. I think I use that again as well later on, but I'm not sure. Some base game curtains that I did have to kind of custom place. I did not have Better Build By or Tool Mod for any of this because they are not up to date yet, but it's okay. We can be patient. So the pack did just come out, so I'm assuming that's what they were waiting for to finally update. And I'm sure they have a lot of packs to update, so I'm not going to be too impatient about it. We have a little tiny section right here between both of these bookcases with like some little stacks of books and some tomes, and then also some other little books. And I did kind of crowd the table for a little bit so that I could custom place where the lamp was going to go, because that's the only way I know how to do it if I don't have Tool Mod and Better Build By. And I think it looks like a really cute little table. And then over here we have some displays of books. Maybe those are like the new arrivals that they want to showcase, so put those up there. A little reading poster, also a little diagram of a building. And then here I am changing the desk out for a little like bar counter situation, so I did have to fiddle around with it and figure out where the placement was going to go. And then for the computer, I had to take another counter and size it down with the computer on top, and then just using alt placement scooch it in to the counter. And then of course I needed a bar height seat instead of the regular office chair. Little stacks of books on top of the side counter. I also found this globe bar, which I thought was pretty, so I put that in there. A little painting, and I also threw that in there. I think that's from Get to Work. Some magazines, and then a little like log book. Maybe that's where you tell the library which book you signed out so that they can keep proper track of it. And also a little inbox for where you put your books when you're bringing them back. I thought that was a nice little touch. And of course the little Simsy kit, cup holder and desk organizer on the desk. Over here I'm cluttering up these bookshelves so they don't all look the same, but I again did not have Tool Mod or Better Build By, so I had to use this other trick, the little shelf from Dream Home Decorator, and I placed the box on top of that and then scooted it over with Move Objects on over onto the shelf. On the bottom I have a little tugboat and also a little llama planter because I thought that was just super cute. And then I added some ceiling lights. These are from Growing Together, I believe. No, those are from Cozy Bistro. And then another Book Nook accessory on the coffee table and a little plant. Over here on these bookshelves we have a bunch more little knickknacks and other books and such. Just tried to clutter it up and make it look like it wasn't all the same from all the other bookshelves, because they literally are just repeats of each other. But I think that it came together really cute, and I really love these book displays, so I did use quite a few of those all throughout. And then I think I also put out a little display on the back porch at the entrance to the library as well, so you'll see that in a little bit. We're also adding some roof adornments from Life and Death. I just thought they looked really fun and kind of castle-y, so I threw them up here, and I did change them around a little bit, not really by choice, but because every time I added something, being that I did not have deletion protection included with my Better Build By, everything just kind of disappeared whenever I changed the wallpaper upstairs, which is super fun. So I kind of had no choice but to reevaluate the situation up there, but that's okay. And I think the roof adornments do look really nice. And now you'll see I'm messing around with this little hallway where the stairs are. I add a little door over here so that it's kind of hidden from the general public, but that is where the owner will go to access their apartment from downstairs. And then I had to change up the railing because it was cutting through the wall. I was so upset. Here are some menus going on the back wall here. At first I thought maybe I wanted to use two. I couldn't decide which color. I was all over the place. So we'll get back to that in a little bit. You'll see what I did. There's a little sign out front here, which I think is from Get Together. And then I'm adding a little bit more signage on the outside of the building. Of course, we have our little pastry fridge. I assume that, you can display pretty much anything in there if you want, but I had my sim who owns this place baking upstairs in her apartment, and then I was just dragging the baked goods to that fridge because one of the activities was browse and buy items, for the customers to browse and buy items. So I wanted her pastries and desserts and such to be stored in that fridge, and I think it came out really, really nicely. So that fridge, I believe, is from Get to Work. Now here in the coffee bar, we are setting out a bunch of little knickknacks. We have some coffee bags, a mug display, a little vintage coffee pot selection, and then we have a pretty little teapot on the other side, as well as a selection of teas from Snowy Escape, and then the teapot is from Cottage Living. We also have some tea bags on a display here on the middle table, which is from Crystal Creations. I really like that table. It works almost everywhere. We also have some fruitcake up in the very top corner, and then I wanted to add this little pastry display from Get Together, but it wasn't quite working, so I did have to break out a couple different shelves till I found one that worked, and then I got it to the approximate height that I needed, and from there dragged it on top of this bar stand. So I think that it finally worked out. And then of course the lighting is from Cottage Living. It's like almost always my number one choice. Adding a little couch from Paranormal Stuff, one more fridge over here, and then I decided to add a little table. Use this one from the Bloomin' Rooms kit, believe it or not, and I do end up putting a plant on top of that pretty soon. But we have a little candlelight on top of each table in this dining space. And then I added some curtains. These ones are from Movie Hangout Stuff. I do size them down so I can do one on either side. And in this white swatch, they don't really clip too badly, so I thought that was nice. As well as these lacy curtains from Cozy Bistro. And I just raised them up a little bit so that they are at the top part of the window. I feel like that would help eliminate some of the harsh sunlight coming in, but still allow for some pretty views of the neighborhood. Over here, we have like a little mini decorative coffee bar. I have some mugs set out. And then I have the little hot cocoa display that came with Outdoor Retreat because I thought that was fun. Maybe that's like where the kids can make their hot chocolate or something. I don't know. And then some more curtains going in. And I do use alt placement to make sure all of these mugs are in their proper spot. It took me a few tries because I wanted to make sure they fit nicely, but that if your sim needed room on that countertop, they could have it. Later on, after I was playtesting this, I did add a dishwasher to that. So that's a pro tip. If you download this build and you want to make it into a small business residential, make sure you add a dishwasher somewhere, because otherwise your sim will be running over to the bathroom sink constantly. It's quite annoying. But here you'll see we're finishing up our curtains and just getting all of our final touches in on this section. Then we're going to work our way to the bathroom. You'll see a little bit of it, and then I'll pretty much just skip to the end because there was so much that I did in here and really not that much at all. It was kind of boring, so I didn't want to bore you too much. But we do have a lot of our bathroom clutter stuff. We have the wallpaper from Realm of Magic, and then the base game floor tile, more of the curtains from Cozy Bistro kit going up right now. And then over here on the wall, I do use more of these cozy paintings. This one is from Dream Home Decorator as well, and I think they're so pretty. So I just repeat the same thing for the other bathroom. It's very uninteresting. And then over here on the front porch, we're adding a cute little pink patio chair as well as a little plant on this side. And then I add the succulent from, I believe that one's from Cats and Dogs, or it might be from Laundry Day, but it's really pretty. Now we're going to be back on the library's front door section, and here I am setting up their little display table. These are all their new arrivals, maybe some books that are featured this month or something. I thought that was a nice little table to have just out front to like advertise, and then a little candle, and then of course a little wall decoration. We have some hanging succulent plants just to kind of frame in everything. I think it looks really nice. And then both porches have the Cottage Living little hanging lanterns, and out front here I thought it would be really fun to use these romantic garden stuff bushes that are kind of like tileable, so I put them along the front porch. I just thought they were so fun and so pretty. I didn't use them anywhere else in the entire build. I just thought they looked really nice right up front. up against the front porch space. So that is what I did here. And then I added some trees, and I also end up adding some ivy. I add a lot of landscaping. I had a hard time accessing all of it in debug. It wasn't as smooth as it usually is for me, again, because my mods are not updated because they don't exist yet, but it's okay. So eventually I do figure it out, but I do pick a lot of the plants from cottage living because I think they give that kind of whimsical cottagecore vibe very, very nicely, and that's kind of what I was going for with this build. I also used a lot of rose bushes, a lot of lavender bushes, the hollyhocks that I love so much, some little grass clumps over here in the front underneath the big tree, because I thought that that just made it look a little bit overgrown and a little bit natural, and I really enjoyed that. And then off to the side here, we're adding some more plants, and I do change up my plan a little bit. I kind of tend to get rid of some of these, and instead I substitute them for more lavender because I didn't like how everything was jumping up, and normally with tool mod I would have been able to fix that, but of course, one more time, I don't have that ability to do that yet, so we are just playing around with what we can and figuring it out. I also added a little bunny topiary because I never use those, and I just thought it was really cute, so it was a good enough excuse for me to use it. The back isn't very exciting. I did add a few more vines and a few more flowering plants, but I assume your Sims won't be back here very much, so I didn't really do too much with that. I love those hollyhocks. They will forever be my favorite. Out front and off to the side, we have some of these. I believe those are, oh, what are those? Not Cozy Bistro, the other one. Oh, I forget what that other pack is called. The one that comes with like the waterfall. Anyway, that's what those tables are from, the matching tables and chairs. I apologize for not being able to remember that pack. I'm terrible. My brain is all on businesses and hobbies right now. Can't fit anything else in my brain, but you'll see I put those tables out front. Now we're adding some terrain paint to get it all framed in really nicely, and then adding some string lights. These are from the little campers kit, and I just kind of raise them up with the 9 key so that they're in between the columns on the front and back porches. Then I'm adding a little mailbox out here by the library because I thought it looked really nice, and that is for obviously the Sim who lives just above. And then adding some lighting in here in the little stairway so that we can, see when we're going up the steps to the apartment. I think that it's very simple. I think I just add I add a little runner rug, and that's pretty much it. Now you'll see a little bit of the build of the upstairs. I'm just going to kind of walk you through what the rooms are going to be. But we have the office right here as soon as you come up the stairs. So it's going to be like a little computer desk, a bookshelf, a little seating spot, and the computer desk. That's it. Over here we have the very, very tiny bedroom, but it's functional. So I'm going to close that off right about now. You'll also notice probably about halfway through the kitchen, I never added a bathroom. So when we do our little tour of this apartment, I will show you where I added the bathroom. But at this point in time, I had totally forgotten about my Sims bladder need. That is my own fault. Over here we have the kitchen, and I did pull out these new blue countertops that came with the base game update not too long ago. After much fiddling and moving everything around, I did finally come up with a floor plan for the kitchen, and I think that it works out really nicely. Of course, I did have to add a platform to the entirety of the upstairs living space because the doors and the archway downstairs were just ever so slightly clipping in through the floor, which bothered me immensely. So I put everything up on a one high platform, but you'll see I'm finishing up the kitchen situation right now and removing some countertops to add a door to our bedroom, and then subsequently our bathroom, because our bathroom is an offshoot of the bedroom. This is only I think a one Sim home, or maybe like a young couple. Maybe they could have a pet, but not very many occupants at this location. And then we also have this little living room situation over here. I didn't know what I wanted to do with that yet, so I just left it alone. But that is what we have so far. And then in a little bit, after we add just a little bit more signage, because it's super cute, we will get to our tour of the apartment. So here you'll see the office space. We have the couch from high school years, we have the bookshelves from Cozy Kitsch, we have the little Simsy plant and candle and desk organizer. Over here on the desk we have the tower on the floor, as well as the picture frame, and then we have some corkboard on the wall with some bills and such on it, and then the hallway we have the flowers on the wall. And then of course here's our bathroom. It's very tiny, but it's very cute and very functional. I love the dark blue. I love the tile. All of our bathroom clutter stuff is in there, and it's very, very pretty. There's a little hanging plant too, which I thought was nice, and just a teeny tiny little square window. Here is the rest of the bedroom, and again, very pink, very cutesy, very minimalist because I just didn't want to overcramp it. But we have our dresser and some shoes and a mirror. We have our little candle tray on the dresser as well, and here's the bed with the rug under it. Now we are in the kitchen though. Here it is all finished. I used the new tile that we got with the new update, and then we have some small appliances, waffle maker, mixer, etc. We have our cow plant hanging on the wall there. We have our trash can and our smoke detector, and I think it just came out super cute. I also used the nifty knitting rug underneath the table in that white swatch. Over here where the sink is, we have the dish rack from Home Chef Hustle, some herbs, some plates, some paper towels. I just think it's so nice and so functional and so realistic. And then we're going to make our way into the living room. I'm sorry about that little piece of roof poking through. But we have a nice cozy space. We have a 2-wide couch and a love seat, and then the TV on the coffee table that came with Life and Death, some picture frames that are empty, and then some other art on the wall that's just from Build By, and also Magnolia Steamboat snow globe. So that is it for our upstairs apartment above our free library and cafe, and I think it came out really cute, so I hope that you also enjoyed it. Here's a little live mode footage, and then there will also be some screenshots, and then we will pretty much be done with this one. So I'm excited to hear what you guys have done so far with the pack, or if you haven't gotten it yet and you have a lot of plans for the future, what do you plan on making? What would you like to see me build? Because I'm always open to your suggestions, and I'm really looking forward to diving more into this pack for sure. I have a lot of small business ideas that I'm just itching to attempt, so let me know what your thoughts are down below. And if you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my builds. And I would love to hear, again, just anything that you guys have to say. What do you think of the pack so far? Is it your thing? Is it not your thing? I think it's definitely right up my alley, and I'm very excited because I always try to build apartments above businesses, and now I actually can do it, and I don't have to play pretend. So I'm very excited. I know that little Simsy is very excited because she does that all the time as well, if anyone else here is a little Simsy fan. But I don't know, I just really enjoyed this, and I'm really excited to finish this voiceover, throw it into my video, and just get it uploaded so that I can play some more businesses and hobbies. So thanks so much for joining me here today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, etc., weekend, whatever, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.